All right, what's going on, everybody? Carly Smith here with our CAA Hoops insider, John Fanta. And John, it all comes down to this week. The final week of conference play in the CAA is here. And if Monday night was any indicator of what March could bring, hold on tight. Buckle up right now because we witnessed fireworks in Campbell's 105-100 win over UNCW in double overtime. You could make the case that it could have been maybe one of the games, if not the game of the year in regular season play. It also showed us that we're in for a wild 5 days in DC coming up very soon. And you were on the call for CBS Sports Network in Newark, Delaware, and Drexel got the win over the Blue Hens at the Bob. So how was your start to the week, John? What'd you see early?
Well, Carly, it's great to be with you, and here we go. We are right in the thick of it with the CAA tournament coming up next week. I cannot wait for this, and I just think that this league has so much parity in it. That's the biggest thing on my mind with the CAA men's basketball tournament coming is that, yes, Charleston's at the top of the league at 13-3, and you give them an immense amount of credit for winning 7 in a row for the job that Pat Kelsey's done with this team, Ferrante, Berzovich, Rain Smith and company. But then UNCW, Drexel, Hofstra, all at 11-5, Towson at 10-6, Delaware, Monmouth, Stony Brook at 9-7. Any of 6 teams could win the CAA tournament, and I would not be shocked.
Yeah,
that's great for the league. A lot of parity, a lot of throw the ball up and let's see who can play harder. As for Monday night, wow, Bowie's Creek, you were rocking. You stormed the court, you were partying, and you deserve this moment to win 105-100 over UNCW. That is a culminating point in Campbell's first year in the CAA. That is a signature moment for the Campbells to look at. To beat UNCW, who went into Rupp Arena and beat Kentucky earlier this season, and is a tough team and is in the fight at the top of this league, that's an impressive win for Campbell. Anthony Del Orso is one of the most underrated players in the country. He is a gem. 34 points, 13-22 from the floor, 11 rebounds. He was a maestro. Trezarian White goes for 38 points in a loss, but it just goes to show you Trezarian White is phenomenal. He's absolutely phenomenal, and he can have a big CAA tournament. But credit to Campbell. Huge win for the Camels. Now let's turn to Drexel. To me, Carly, Drexel entered Monday night at Delaware, and I was asking this question. Will we see the team that started 7-0 in CAA play before the CAA tournament? Will they create momentum? Will they be able to get back on track and show us that they've got that in their arsenal then to make a conference tournament run, no matter what seed they are? We saw that team get unleashed on Monday night. And how did we see it get unleashed? With Justin Moore. Justin Moore was fantastic. 20 points in this game. When Drexel fell behind 18-8, it felt like it was going to be Delaware's night and that Jair Davis would just have a big night and that it was not going to go for Drexel. And you're wondering, when's this team going to be able to break through? Well, Justin Moore sparked them. They closed the first half on a 13-0 run. It turned into a 23-4 run in total. Amari Williams, 14 and 11, a double-double for him, his 8th of the year. Lucas Monroe's an X factor, the transfer from Penn, and Drexel defended. They got back to their roots. Drexel is gritty. They can lock you up, and they've got a point guard who's like an orchestra composer. He gets all the other pieces in the orchestra to mesh. He's the head of the Dragons, Justin Moore. Great win for Zach Spiker's team. Drexel's dangerous.
Drexel's dangerous. They can sit down and defend you all night long. That's for sure. But you mentioned Charleston. They head into this final week of the regular season in the driver's seat, needing just one win to secure an outright regular season championship after sharing one a year ago. So keep an eye on their Thursday game against Campbell, 7 p.m. Eastern. They can clinch the regular season title and the #1 seed with a win against the Camels. All eyes on that one. Now, behind that, there are 7 teams separated by 2 games with 2 games remaining. So, John, I want to hone in on one of those 7 with an intriguing week ahead. Hofstra has won 10 of its last 12 games entering the final weekend. but faces 2 tough tests on the road at UNCW and Charleston. Whoa. Oh my gosh. So what does the Pride have to do to take care of business this week?
Well, it's going to be hard to take care of business.
Yeah.
If they can get one of these, that would be great for Hofstra, who has won 3 in a row and rolled past Elon on Saturday, beat Drexel by a dozen. They've won their last 3 games by a combined 55 points. So they've really been a team that's come on here in the last couple of weeks and is playing great basketball. I actually think they're guarding a little bit better than they have been. They're playing better defensively. And I thought against Drexel, they really guarded them well, and they played with intensity. They got to do that every possession.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't be so reliant on Tyler Thomas that then you allow teams to trade buckets. If they keep that defensive intensity up, that's big. Now, Jaquan Carlos continues to impress me. Against Elon had 8 points, 9 assists. His assist rate is just crazy. His ability to move the basketball, to initiate offense, it's really impressive. It really is. I mean, even against Drexel, 8 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. He's the smallest guy on the floor, and he's got 10 rebounds.
Yeah.
So Tyler Thomas is the bucket getter. Thomas is as good of a scorer as there is in the country. Last week he combines for 53 points and 2 wins.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just another day at the office for Tyler Thomas. Darlin Stone Dubar is a guy who can make shots for them as well and can score at a high rate, can get to the basket. And I think they've got a couple of keys. I think since German Plotnikov's taken on an increased role, that's been big for them. And Silas Sunday kind of came out of nowhere against Drexel and gave them something. If they get anything from their front court, whether it's Jacko Fritz or Sunday, that's big.
Yeah.
For Hofstra, you gotta continue to move the basketball well. You can't be over-reliant on Thomas. And if that supporting cast gets involved and they continue to guard at a capable level, Carly, Hofstra can be right in the mix of things at the CAA tournament. For them this weekend, to me, this weekend's about getting a game. You got to find a pathway to 1 win. The UNCW Charleston road swing is the hardest in the league because those 2 teams are so good. So this is a difficult road swing. I always say get 1. Of course, could they get 2? Yes. And the reason why is because they have one of the premier scorers in America in Tyler Thomas.
Yes. Yeah. Tough road swing, but hey, a team who could be doing some dancing very shortly. Who knows? We'll see. Okay. All of this aside, we look to the weekend schedule, and there are 5 games between teams in the top 8 of the standings. Like Hofstra, another group of Long Islanders plays 2 against the top group this weekend. Stony Brook takes on Drexel, and Delaware with an opportunity to take a massive lead if the Seawolves can go 2-0. So what makes Gino Ford's squad such a tough out this year?
Well, I think what Gino's done a nice job of, and they've won 3 of their last 4 games. I think with this team, they've got good balance. They do. I mean, Tyler Stevenson Moore and Aaron Clark go for 18 points apiece in the win over William and Mary. They're able to, what they're able to do is they can set Tyler Stevenson Moore up for shot making opportunities, and he's been executing. But they also can get you in transition a little bit. They're capable of it. The offense has had a better year. I just think because they have some more options and they've gotten healthier. Between Stevenson Moore, Clark, and then Dean Knoll. And they've got length inside. They've got a rim protector and a guy who makes you think about things inside when you're on the offensive end of the floor and you got to see Keenan Fitzmaurice. He's a versatile big man who can make the elbow jumper, who can make the baseline shot. 16 points for Fitzmaurice in their last game against William and Mary. And over the last 4 games, he's gone for at least 13 points 3 times and had a 20-point showing in a win over Hampton. So I think with Stony Brook, the biggest thing for me that makes them dangerous is they've got 4 guys at 10 or more points per game. So they have really good balance. And Stevenson Moore is a veteran who understands what to do in certain situations. And I think their defense has improved as the season's gone on. But balanced offense, some really unique talent. They can create some mismatches and do some interesting things offensively when you've got Steven Samore and a guy in Aaron Clark who I think has come on as the season's gone on. He's in his 6th year of college basketball. His 6th season of college basketball. As we know, last year dealt with the injuries that only had him play 3 games. But I think Aaron Clark is a real X factor for this team, because when he seems to be going, when he can make some threes, Steven Samore's 42% from 3 on the year. Clark's at about 33. Can he get that to 37, 38 during the CAA tournament? Then maybe Stony Brook could be a dark horse. They can be in the mix there. But as for this weekend, with how they close, I think this is a team you've got to go into this weekend and say, all right, we've got Drexel first, and then we've got Delaware. What they've got to do is they can't allow Drexel's defense to overly disrupt them to a point where they're not getting good looks. You got to get clean looks. You need Fitzmaurice to battle with Amari Williams. That's a big key to the game. And you can't let Luke House or Mateo Cruz or Kobe McGee get loose for threes. When Drexel hits threes, Carly, they're as good as any team in the CAA. They're a dangerous mid-major.
Absolutely.
So for Stony Brook, that's the key for them here this weekend.
Yeah, one possession at a time. And John, by the end of the week, we're going to be crowning a regular season champion and solidifying bracket for the CAA championship that starts March 8th at the Entertainment and Sports Arena. Major postseason implications this week. So what games are you watching?
Oh, man, all of them. Grab your popcorn, because there's not a bad matchup here this week. Look, I want to see how Campbell comes off the dramatic win over UNCW at Charleston on Thursday night. Now the Cougars can taste that regular season championship, which they can win with a win over Campbell on Thursday evening. Going right down the line.
Yeah.
You've got Hofstra at UNCW. Outstanding matchup. Tyler Thomas versus Trezarian White. 2 of the best scorers in America. What a matchup that is going to be. That's going to be fantastic down in Wilmington. I cannot wait for that. Towson, can the Tigers be able to get back on track? They're coming off of a loss to Charleston. What can Towson do here this weekend? Can they piece something together here? Can Pat Scarry get his group back on track? They're at North Carolina A&T. That's a good opportunity for them. We turn to Saturday. CBS Sports Network, Towson at UNCW. So again, for Towson, the thing with them is, like, they need Christian May and Tyler Tejada to be coexisting, to be hitting shots. May is a great scorer. Tejada can get hot in a hurry. He had 30 last week against Monmouth. 30 points for Tyler Tejada. A huge game against Monmouth. So I'm looking at Tyler Tejada being a key here this weekend for Towson. I think that's a big game. Northeastern at Drexel from Philadelphia. How does Drexel close the season? For the Northeastern side of things, you got Chris Doherty, and you got a team in Bill Cohen's group that can defend. And who they face in the conference tournament, they're so well coached, Northeastern, because Bill Cohen's one of the best. So I'm interested to see where they fall and who they match up with and where they side, because they take it possession by possession, and they can grind you down with their defense. And then Delaware at Stony Brook. Delaware, they've got to respond from the loss on Monday night. I thought their perimeter shooting, they just didn't make enough shots. That was what went wrong for them in that game. Gerald Drumgool's got to get going against Steven Samore, and of course Jair Davis. Can Jair Davis be able to do enough against the Seawolves on Long Island?
Who's gonna get going? It's time. It's time. The time.
Can't wait.
Now. Can't wait. Visit CAAsports.com/CAA hoops to purchase your ticket. Do it right now to the CAA Championship, March 8th through the 12th in Washington, D.C. We'll see you there.
Grab your popcorn.